So I wanted to share with you guys just a couple of life lessons I picked up from Pokemon. I'm Wilkye Castro, and this is Talking Shots.
Sword sheath, it's the return of the blade and slice shade, getting paid until my silhouette fades. A mercenary, spit to levy versus scary sage.
Alright, so lesson number 1. Patience and dedication lead to better results. So what I mean by that is, we've all gotten to that point in Pokemon. You beat the first 2 gym leaders, you're feeling yourself, you're fucking Totodile, might be a Croconaw by now, you might be a fucking Croc daddy. And you get to the third, gym. And you beat all the little fucking goon minions that they always have in the front of the gym, or the trainees, whatever the fuck. They never really explain the whole concept of what the gym actually is, but whatever. So you beat all their asses and you finally get to the gym leader and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat the fucking fine ass chick with the fucking ghost Pokemon. I know someone in the comments gonna be like, Wilkye, that wasn't gym number 3, that was gym number 5. Eat my ass, alright? So you finally get to the 3rd gym leader and you start off doing well. You're like, oh yeah, I have all 6 Pokemon, they're pretty fair leveled. My Pidgeotto is a real fucking goon. And then you get washed, completely washed by the gym leader. So what do I mean by patience and dedication? Well, what do you do after you get your ass whooped by the gym leader? You either do one of 2 things. You go back, try again, get your ass whooped again, realize you're a fucking piece of garbage and your Pokemon are gonna abandon you eventually. Or you do the smart thing. You go back to either the little grassy areas and you start training. And you take your time, you level up your Pokemon more, you start coming up with better combos, maybe learn better moves, and you start coming up with either a better game plan or you prepare yourself better for that same gym battle. So you finally get your Pokemon up, they're all fucking high level now, and you're like, I'm gonna whoop this bitch's ass. And you go in there and you start whooping her ass and you're about to kill her final fucking Pokemon. And then she uses a full restore and wipes you anyway, so go back to square one. Patience and dedication is something that can be applied to anything in day-to-day life, or even anything in general. If you really just take time to really look a problem in the eye, plan something out, and prepare yourself, you will always, or more than likely, get better results. And it'll show. Try it. Next time you're at work, if you have trouble with, I don't know, maybe doing, you have to do an expense report, you suck dick at it, so why not just take an extra 5 minutes, read up about how to do them properly, maybe look up some examples, better prepare yourself. And you instead of next time it taking you 3 hours to do an expense report, you might be able to do it in, I don't know, fucking 20 minutes. So yeah, patience and dedication. All right, lesson number 2. How a rival can help push you to your absolute limits. Now, as you guys know, us here over at Talking Shots are very, very close with a very fun esports team by the name of Curious. Both me and my boy Iro were sponsored by them for different games and shit like that. And I always like having a rival whenever it comes to any competitive game that I play. Especially now that I'm taking competitive gaming a little bit more serious in between my day-to-day job and Talking Shots. So almost always in any fighting game that I've ever played, I always love having a rival, a close friend that could always teach me more, not only just about the game, but about my own playstyle, and always have someone I'm more or less either trying to reach to beat, or someone that could help push me to a better extent. Now in Pokemon, you always have your rival, which you can name whatever for the sake of the games and for, relevancy to the anime. We're gonna call him Gary. So yeah, you always have your Gary, the guy that really pushes you, that really makes you strive to be a better Pokemon trainer, be it, raise better Pokemon, have better strategies, have a better composition for your team, or even just you have someone to call you a piece of shit, so you want to whoop his ass more. Now, I'm kind of like that when it comes to competitive gaming as well, just because of the fact that a lot of the games that I've stuck with the longest end up being games where I actually have someone I could play with consistently, or someone that really pushes me to do that. With Dead or Alive, it was my big homie Dave. With a lot of the newer games that I'm playing, it ends up being Iro, or even people I play online, or even just some of our other close friends. And I love it. It makes me want to get better. It makes me want to take more time to learn tech. And you could even apply that to almost anything. Next lesson. Growth of a friendship. Now, in Pokemon, if you've ever caught sometimes higher level Pokemon, they won't listen to you for shit. And there's a few reasons. Sometimes they're, too high level for you to actually tell them what the fuck to do, like Charizard in the show. Sometimes you might not have the right badges to have them do certain moves, or, actually be able to have them do certain shit. And then this one actually ends up being the most interesting. Sometimes Pokemon, especially if they're higher level, if you don't have them or have that bond with them or have them, you know, with you for a certain amount of time, they will ignore what you tell them, from attacks to running away to shit like that. And it could kind of fuck you up sometimes. Like, one of the worst things to happen, and here's a personal anecdote. I caught a fucking Pidgeotto because I needed a quick Pokemon. I was like stuck somewhere. I was far away from a Pokemon Center. I needed a Pokemon just to learn Fly so I could fly out of that situation, go to a Pokemon Center, and switch out my Pokemon composition. Catches Pidgeotto. I had an extra spot for whatever reason. And I teach him Fly. Fantastic. This motherfucker does not want to do it. He's like, I don't fucking know you, dude. Get the fuck off my back. I don't want you flying with me. And I'm like, come on, dude. I'm feeding you little Pokemon pellets. And your little, what are they called? The little crumpets? The little crimps?
Berries?
No, the shits that you give to a Pokemon to do like the fashion shows. The puffins or whatever.
Puffins, yeah.
Yeah, little puffin shits. I'm like, I'm giving you that shit, nigga. I want you beautiful. And he's like, no. I'm not flying. So what ended up happening is I had to walk like an extra 40 fucking minutes in real life time to get to the next Pokemon Center because I was fucking lost in the middle of the fucking canyon caves or whatever, which always happens. So yeah, I was pretty much fucked because I didn't have a friend with me.
You got a friend.
I was about to start singing that. Now, how does this apply to real life? I'm sure you've already thought of like a dozen examples of how it could apply, but let's just start with the most basic. Let's say that you make a new friend, you guys hit it off, you guys are the boys already, but you don't really know him that well, and you don't know if he's actually a cool person or if he's just a fucking dickhead who's putting on a front. So, you know, you grow the friendship, you get to know them more, you end up finding out that, you know, they're actually pretty cool people. But especially at the beginning of the friendship, like let's say that you're stranded nearby them, especially during the start of a friendship, they might not be so apt to, you know, pick you up or take you home or be able to give you a ride or stuff like that. Of course, that's not what a friendship is about. It's about the bond and connection you have with someone else. But it's kind of nice knowing that you were able to grow close to someone to that point that you feel completely open with them or able to share experiences with them. And that's what having a friend's all about, you know? That's why we're your friends at Talking Shots, you know? Hit me up, send me nudes. I just like it for the aesthetic. Lesson number 4. Appreciation and exploration of the world around you. So, as many of you guys know, Talking Shots is headquartered, I guess if you want to say, in Miami, Florida. And if you know anything about Miami or have lived here, Miami is fucking gigantic. There's so many subsections of Miami that count as Miami, but you don't really count them as Miami. And you could even live in the same neighborhood for years and not even know what's across the street from you. That's what I liked about growing up in Miami, especially in the area of West Kendall where I live. The older I got, the more freedom I had to go check out all the things around me, from restaurants that I'd never been to even cool local attractions like Arcade Odyssey and stuff like that. It's really nice to be in tune with what's around you and, you know, really able to show it love. In Pokemon, they do a lot of the same stuff. You're able to explore, and a lot of times they, you know, kind of reward you for exploring, from, you know, checking out the different hidden sections of a cave to finding certain areas where only certain Pokemon are located, or even just finding, you know, random rare items or rare moves that end up becoming very, very, very useful later on in the game. So, you know, next time you're bored, walk around your neighborhood for a little bit. Take a nice little fucking 1-hour stroll and check out your local businesses and find out about the personalities and the people around you, because you end up missing it when you end up moving away from it. And that's what you end up realizing in Pokemon as well. Now, here to me is the number one thing that has always stuck with me throughout every Pokemon game and throughout life, from the first time that I read it and from how many times I ended up applying it to everything that I do. And it's a very famous quote. Have you ever been inside, again, a Pokemon gym, and you're like, wow, walking through all of this is gonna take forever. So you try using your bike. And what is the one thing that happens every time you try to use your bike indoors? You get a call from your homeboy, Professor Oak, and he tells you this one famous quote, which now I have memorized, which is, there's a time and place for everything. ... But not now, motherfucker. You better fucking take that bike the fuck out of here. It's the quote. The reason I like this quote is that I usually like shortening it and just keeping it to, there's a time and place for everything. So yeah, guys, those are just a handful of different life experiences that I've learned from playing Pokemon. There's so many more that you could draw out from the series. But I always like to value the simple ones, the ones that are not so much in your face, but that you kind of just overlook, but they're there. Friends are always important. Make sure to always dedicate yourself and pride yourself in what you do. And always appreciate the world around you. There's a lot of times where you don't know what you've got till it's gone.
I wanna be the very best that no one else.
So what do you guys think? What are other life lessons that you've learned from Pokemon? And if there are other games that kind of have the same themes or share a lot of the same ideas that you guys think I should check out, well then comment below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, the Gram, the whole 9 yards. And remember, this is Talking Shots. And this is Talking Shots. And I'm Wilkye Cash. Yeah, I'll just go back to I remember. I know, because the first thing I'm like, this is Talking Shots. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to say it backwards. And remember, I'm Wilkye Castro, and this is Talking Shots.